Hello viewers of the National Television, welcome to this English news edition. Fabian Yunizgia here. Top stories. 4 new ambassadors have presented their letters of credence for the Burundian head of state. These include the ambassador of the Swiss Confederation, the ambassador of the Kingdom of Thailand, the ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, as well as the ambassador of the Republic of Chad. In order to provide a greater convenience to passengers traveling to the interior of the country, Sopebu, in collaboration with Atrabu, is currently supplying fuel to transport agencies, saving inherent costs. This initiative aims to enable the country with the government-regulated transport fares. Welcome once again. 4 new ambassadors have presented their letters of credence to the head of state, Evariste Ndayishimiye. These include the ambassador of Swiss Confederation, the ambassador of Kingdom of Thailand, the ambassador of Islamic Republic of Pakistan, as well as ambassador of the Republic of Chad. Evariste Nyonguru has the story.
The first ambassador who came to represent his country, the Kingdom of Netherlands, is Molakot Jamemathon. She came to present her credentials to the President of the Republic of Burundi. She is based in Nairobi. The President of the Republic of Burundi also received Nayam Ullah Khan, who represents the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. He is based in Kigali, the capital city of the Republic of Rwanda. Another ambassador received by the President of the Republic of Burundi is Nicole Providori. She represents Sweden in Burundi with her headquarters in Dar es Salaam. Finally, the President welcomed Abdel Karim Ahmadei, who comes to represent the Republic of Chad. His headquarters is located in Brazzaville. The spokesperson for the Burundian head of state, Rosine Gatoni, indicated that these meetings are an occasion to discuss the quality of bilateral relationships. Before their departure, all these ambassadors signed the guest book.
In order to provide greater convenience to passengers traveling to interior of the country, Sopebu, in collaboration with Atrabu, is currently supplying fuel to transport agencies serving in round roads. This initiative aims at enabling them to comply with the government-regulated transport fares. The measure has been welcomed by transport operators. However, they are calling on Sopebu to increase the allocated quotas so that they can operate every day of the week. The report with Ejide Mbazumutima, translated by Gorodia Gatogato.
At this fuel station in Ngagala, public transport vehicles with passengers heading to the interior of the country on designated routes come to refuel and receive a token. This token will allow them to refuel at interior station on their return journey, helping to prevent breakdowns due to fuel shortages along the way. Drivers of these transport buses welcome this initiative as it allows them to carry out their daily work more comfortably. Samuel Bimenyimana, who operates on the Bujumbura-Gitega Changuzo route, says the measure comes at the right time and adds value both for passengers and transporters. However, he urges Sopebu to increase the weekly fuel quota, pointing out that the current quota per week is insufficient for a bus that consumes 120 liters of diesel for a single round trip. For passengers, this comes as a great relief. Prosper Manayubahwe shares, "I used to pay 20,000 Burundian francs for a trip from Gitega to Bujumbura, but today I'm happy to pay just 9,500 Burundian francs. I urge the authorities to ensure ticket prices are respected in the interest of the public." Jean Bosco Minani, president of the Burundi Transporters Association at Atrabu, also appreciates the move, saying it adds value by allowing transporters to refuel without hassle. He explains that many transporters had suspended their services due to fuel shortages, but now they can resume operations. However, he also calls on Sopebu to take further steps to allow transporters to operate 7 days a week, as the current quota limits them to just 3 or 4 days of service per week. This development comes as Sopebu has been receiving more than 60 fuel trucks per week since last week. Currently, the Bujumbura-Gitega-Ruyigi-Changuzo route is already benefiting from this measure, and Sopebu is committed to gradually supplying all agencies serving regions across the country starting this week.
This Tuesday, UNICEF presented the annual achievements of the July 2024 to June 2025 work plan and the planned work plan for July 2025 to June 27. On behalf of the government, Gaudence Sindayigaya, Director General in charge of multilateral relations at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, expressed satisfaction with UNICEF's achievements in Burundi in promoting child well-being. Reported by Jocelyn Kangindi and translated by Jivan Ndaishimiye.
With the first year of implementation of the work plan, UNICEF has recorded successes in the realization of children's rights. UNICEF representative in Burundi, France Bejean, stated in the annual review of the work plan achievement July 24, June 2025, that UNICEF responded to emergencies that arose in 2024, including floods and the mpox outbreak through multi-sector approach involving the health, nutrition, sanitation, child protection sectors by supporting the installation of free isolation units in high-risk areas and strengthening the capacity of health personnel. 1,747 cases, representing 52% of reported cases, were treated as of December 31st, 2024. UNICEF representative in Burundi also noted that in collaboration with the government and the partners agencies, including World Health Organization, nearly 2 million children were vaccinated against measles during the outbreak. UNICEF also reported the development and the adoption of ministerial ordinance on interoperability between civil registration services and health facilities for birth registration. Additionally, UNICEF has elevated early childhood development to a national priority through high-level advocacy that led to the development of an operational plan to implement the national strategy, as well as the launch of a pilot project focused on the first 1,000 days in Kayanza province. On behalf of the government, Gaudence Sindayigaya, Director General of Multilateral Relations at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, expressed satisfactions with UNICEF's achievements for the July 24 to June 2025 period. Note that in planning the July 2025 to June 2027 work plan, UNICEF will have the opportunity to address the challenges encountered during the previous implementation phase. Interventions in the area of child welfare in Burundi will remain essential to promoting the well-being of children.
And today, the Ministry of Environment has organized a workshop to enhance and validate the draft national strategy and action plan document aligned with the Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework. The Director General of Burundi Office for Environment Protection said that this document will help the country to mobilize funding for effective biodiversity conservation. Marius Mohigwe.
Burundi, as a part of the Biological Diversity Convention, as other countries, it must find a response to line up with the road objectives as planned in the Montreal Convention. The reason why the attendance to this conference discussed on the worldwide framework legal conventions on biodiversity according to the country's plan. The permanent secretary to the Ministry for Environment has said that Burundi is engaged at ensuring effective biodiversity conservation in order to succeed in the 2040 and 2060 vision. The Director General of Burundi Office for Environment Protection says that the document will enable Burundi to mobilize the funds for the biodiversity conservation here in Burundi, as reported by Berkimasa Tungimana, the Director General of Burundi Office for Environment Protection. Among deep causes of biodiversity conservation, we name people, poverty of local communities, ignorance of the biodiversity law, to mention but a few.
In the series of projects carried out in various provinces across the country, our colleagues arriving in Rumonge province, specifically in the industrial sector, The governor of Rumonge province praised the efforts and called on oil palm farmers to join forces in the palm sector, which will allow them to access numerous benefits. Jackson Ilakoze.
We are in the commune and the province of Rumonge in a factory owned by an entrepreneur named Kazungu Charles, a factory that processes various products from palm oil. These products include soaps, oil known as Joha, red oil, and others. This entrepreneur informs us that the idea came from the fact that they were taught in school the importance of processing what they grow. Regarding the population, this entrepreneur tells us that the staff working in this factory benefit greatly. Not only that, but the country also benefit because foreigners who need this oil bring foreign currency in exchange. The population of this locality obtains high quality oil, he added. However, this entrepreneur faces numerous challenges that hinder the progress of activities in this sector. And among the first problems he faces, electricity comes first, followed by the fuel shortage. To this end, he asks the government for help in providing it in sufficient quality and quantity. Rumonge Province Governor Leonard Nyosaba also expressed satisfaction with the progress made in this sector, even though challenges persist. He took the opportunity to issue a passionate and urgent appeal to oil palm farmers, whether they have existing industries or not, to join forces to make it easier to manage and support them in times of need. You know that in this province, there are other plants such as mandarins, oranges, and other crops that can be processed and provide added value to the population.
And to end this news, in the chronicle of this today, we are going to talk about the Kanyosha commune, where the population appreciates the construction of the bridge connecting the Ruyaga and the Kiyenzi zones, as it facilitates the movement of people and the goods. Evariste Nyonkuru reporting.
This bridge is built over the Kanyosha River. It connects the zones of Kiyenzi and the Ruyaga in the Kanyosha commune. The inhabitants of these two zones affirm that this bridge was built at the right time as it facilitated the movements of goods. Virginie Monimana, one of the inhabitants of this Ruyaga zone, indicates that has brought an added value. Before its construction during the rainy season, it was not easy for the inhabitants of these two zones to exchange goods and services. In addition, this river used to pose challenge for those who need to cross it to conduct business on the other side. This lady therefore appreciates the initiative of the communal administration, since the construction of this bridge is the response to the needs of the inhabitants of these two zones, considering the brotherly relationship that will be reinforced. The communal administrator of Kanyosha indicates that the activities involved in building this bridge are among the projects that have been accomplished over the 5 past years. Moreover, she specifies that maintenance activities are ongoing on this river to protect the bridge. Trifoni Safari commends the Burundian Agency for Roads, ALB, for its enormous contribution to the accomplishment of these activities. In addition to these efforts made by Burundian Agency for Roads, ALB, the inhabitants continue to protect the banks of this river by planting balm.
Well, end of this news edition. Thank you for being with us. Keep watching our programs. Bye-bye.